first episode of Maverick Travels. So in the past, I've done some traveling. However, this is the first documented. I got some equipment and decided to film the first episode of Maverick Travels in where else but Egypt. So I'm at the stage in my life where I just want to travel. I want to see the world. There's a big world out there. I call it a big small world, where big enough to see a lot, yet small enough to see all of it. I'm more the adventurous type. I do love traveling off the beaten path. Why Egypt? All the ancient history. It's really the cradle of ancient civilization to me. I feel it's some of the last remaining evidence of our ancient world, and I'm really intrigued by it. We started the day with our driver picking us up at our hotel, and he took us over to the open air museum of Memphis, where King Ramses II is lying on his back. King Ramses is lying on his back due to the fact that the statue was found in 1821 without a base. It took a little over 60 years to extract and move the statue to where it currently lies. Seeing this statue through the screen does not do it justice. You have to be present to feel how deep the history of Egypt is. We're talking about thousands of years. Some researchers date ancient Egypt as much older than the textbook. Then drove to the Pyramids of Saqqara, not to be mistaken for the Pyramids of Giza. The pyramids in the fields of Saqqara are older and were built during the Old Kingdom. We made our way to the Pyramid of Teti and crouched our way into the chambers that were filled with hieroglyphics. I got to touch the walls and be part of ancient history. Seeing this left me speechless and wondering what life was like then. These hieroglyphs have been in these tombs for thousands of years and yet remain in amazing condition. It's almost like they were lasered in the wall. So walking in the hot sun, your boy worked up an appetite, so we gotta eat. Our driver took us over to the Valley of Kings restaurant. When you walk in there, they're playing instruments to welcome you in. We were served authentic Egyptian cuisine. Meat still sizzling on the mini charcoal grill. The food hit the spot. On our way to the Pyramids of Giza, we stopped by the paper factory. This type of paper is the original writing paper and the strongest in the world. These type of factories can be found throughout Egypt. My advice is always negotiate the price. And now, the spectacular, the breathtaking Pyramids of Giza. Wait for it. And now. There aren't enough words in the dictionary to describe the feeling of being there. I just know that I was grateful to be able to make it there. I mean, it's just breathtaking. The pyramids are one of the only standing structures that connect us and the ancient civilization. The fact that they're still standing and accessible to you and I is remarkable. This is a must-see on your bucket list. It's a must. You have to see the pyramids. Riding camels around the pyramids was on my bucket list, so I had to scratch that one off the list and make it happen. Our guide got us in touch with one of the locals so that we didn't need to go through the hassle of finding someone trustworthy to provide the service. I must warn you, the riding height was a bit higher than expected. I mean, your boy's not afraid of heights, but it is something to consider. And it's not the most comfortable ride either, but it's 100% worth it. I'm a bit of a gearhead. I enjoy anything that goes fast on wheels. Motorcycles, ATVs, two-wheelers, three-wheelers, four-wheelers, whatever it is, I like it. Now, I was told that you could ride ATVs near the pyramids, and your boy had to do that. I had to get that one off the bucket list. Make sure if you do ride ATVs in the desert, cover your face because you're gonna have the sand flying everywhere, and obviously eye protection. So a couple kids from the neighborhood had some ATVs, so we got on them. They took us up on the hill. Pretty much it was overseeing the pyramids. It was fun. It was a good time. I'll let the footage speak for itself. following day, we caught a 1-hour flight from Cairo to Luxor. Luxor is a smaller town compared to Cairo, a little more quiet with a lot to see. Luxor's population is a little over 1 million compared to Cairo's 20 million plus. Believe me, if you get to visit both cities, you will see, hear, and feel the difference. We stayed at the Steigenberger Hotel, about a 20-minute taxi ride from the airport. The hotel offered all the standard amenities, a very nice pool, and a marina as well. So we literally dropped our bags, got in a taxi, and went over to the Karnak Temple. The Karnak Temple was definitely one of the most interesting parts of the adventure. The complex is a large open-air museum with large columns standing 30 to over 60 feet tall, more hieroglyphs and statues. One thing you'll notice, there are some statues that were damaged from foreign invaders. Karnak Temple is an absolute must visit. Another thing you must do is sail on the Nile River. If you're not familiar with the Nile, it is one of the world's longest and most important historically in the world. Our driver got us with some guys that had a small sailboat. We ate and watched the sunset as we sailed along the Nile. I must tell you, it was by far one of the most memorable moments on the trip. During the evening, we went for a stroll along the Nile. The coachman was a kid that I can't quite remember his name, but he was about 11 years old, and he just pulled up on us and asked us if we wanted a ride. I mean, why not? So we rode through the heart of Luxor. We got to see the city and visit local markets, and got to know this young man and his older brother. Now, 11-year-olds over there are forced to grow real quick. I mean, it's another part of the world where they're not as privileged as we are. So an 11-year-old as a coachman is a normal thing in this part of the world. And to be honest, he was just a great young man. It was a great moment. So the following morning, we had to be up at 4:30 a.m. to catch the sunrise. But it wasn't just catching the sunrise. We were going up in a hot air balloon. Let me tell you, this was a very special moment. Very, very special moment. The experience was unforgettable. We took off in time to watch the sunrise 500 feet in the air with comfortable temperatures and clear skies. I mean, what more can you ask for? We're blessed. After we landed, we were driven to the temple of Hatshepsut. Now, I know I butchered that name. I'm sorry, guys. We went there to do more sightseeing before heading over to the Valley of Kings. Now, the Valley of Kings was a site like no other. The site was originally created to bury kings and nobles of the new kingdom. It is recommended to hire a guide. However, guides are no longer allowed to enter the caves with you, so keep that in mind. When you enter the caves, you will see the breathtaking artwork and hieroglyphs. These kings really believed they could take their treasures in the afterlife with them, so they were buried in gold and other valuable belongings. However, these tombs were eventually raided by the people soon after. As you may already know, Egypt is hot, and depending on the time of the year you're visiting, it can be scorching hot. Please pack water when going on these excursions. After the visit of the Valley of Kings, we did visit local merchants, and I participated in making some of the pottery. As you'll see, your boy put in that work. I have to put some muscle behind it, you know? Sadly, our time in Luxor came to a conclusion. Honestly, I cannot wait to go back. There is so much more to see. So it's definitely worth another trip. So we packed up the car and we're driven to Hurghada. The drive is about 3.5 to 4 hours. We made a brief stop, and I got some footage of this beautiful landscape of the mountainous desert. Hurghada, this beautiful city along the coast of the Red Sea. It is different than the other two cities that we visited. The population is about 200,000, and it's a beach tourist style city. Honestly, you get tourists from all over the world. It is beautiful. So we stayed at the Marriott. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst either. It was clean, buffet was good, staff was on point, the beach was nice, and tons of water sports. After all the sightseeing and running around during our stay in Egypt, we wanted to just take it easy. However, we did go for walks, rented a couple bikes to cycle around town. So we capped off our stay with dinner at the hotel. It was a little Italian restaurant over there. Our stay in Hurghada was short and relaxing. However, the plan is to come back and see more of the city. I do want to do the boat rides. I do want to see the dolphins in the Red Sea. So Egypt, I will be back. So this concludes the first episode of Maverick Travels. I do appreciate you taking the time and watching my first video. Like, subscribe, hit me up on Instagram, and until the next one.